Okay, hey, we are live. So I have to make a quick announcement on the start today. I'm one screen in it today. My other screen died, so I am not tracking the YouTube live feed. So I'm just running off of the headquarters screen here at Bead Maker Central. So
nice.
Good morning, Sid.
Good morning. So I don't know what it is about Monday mornings other than they live up to the Monday morning. So the reason it took us a minute to go live there is because Facebook didn't pick up our live feed. So we only have all of you on YouTube. So I am going to be looking at my phone here shortly because I'm going to try to share the YouTube live to Facebook because we can't figure out, and we didn't want to stop it because you guys are all here, right? So we didn't want to stop the live, but for some reason, Facebook did not pick it up, even though it's scheduled. So it's a morning for technical difficulties, which is totally our thing, right?
Yeah, it is. So right now it shows we're streaming on the PS Detail Products Facebook, but not on the lounge.
Yeah, we don't stream on the lounge anymore. Which that's what I was trying to find was that feed. So it doesn't stream on the lounge anymore because we couldn't see their now this thing is like making noise. We couldn't see their comments anymore. So a couple months ago, Restream did an update and then we can't see their comments anymore. So now that's what I was trying to do was share the Facebook, and now I see it. I was trying to share the Facebook stream to Bead Maker Launch. All right, so it looks like we're good.
The tea is made and the chop suey gets chopped. Here we are, ready to go on a Monday morning. Apparently, Bristol has decided to boycott the show. Notice that it just says I'm here.
Yeah, she's curled up in a ball right behind there. She found a blanket. I left a blanket out last night, so she's curled up in a ball. So
it is that season that's getting a little cooler, and you and I are wearing more fallish attire today because the weather has changed. So
the weather has changed. Yeah, it was like
fall, and we're actually headed back to summer here in a few days. We'll get into that.
I know,
but
I know I need to check the weather. I'm so bad about checking the weather. But good morning, everyone. Jeez Louise, what
howdy.
Day
so
already.
I'll start throwing some comments up because we don't really have a ton of guest interaction today. It's just you and a little bit of
you and me. Yeah. So full disclosure here, the days go by really fast, right? I feel like we were just here. So the fall for Team PNS gets really, really busy. And like Keith said, we're going to get into that, but it gets really, really busy. And it's like, it goes by so fast. And once we're into like SEMA prep, and then for some reason, we decided to do all these trips right before SEMA. And so the days go by really fast. And so I just decided for today, Keith is always such a great wealth of knowledge. He was supposed to be a guest on. He was on a list. And so now he's my moderator. So I thought, you know what? We'll just hang out the two of us this morning because in the coming weeks, I've got a full lineup of guest co-hosts. So, of course, Keith is, knows everything about the products, obviously. Huge PNS fan, right? So I thought I'd keep you on screen with me the whole morning today.
Well, I'm appreciated. I'm not sure the audience will by the time we're done, but we'll see how that rolls.
Of course they will. Of course they will. So why don't we talk about what's coming up? Because that was, kind of the reason why I wanted to just keep you on today, because we have a lot coming up. So I thought we could talk about that, and then we'll get into our favorite products. So let's go. What are we doing this week?
We're going on tour. We're not a rock band, and I don't think we're anywhere near these guys who go on stage, but hey, we're going on tour. So it is SoCal tour time. And there isn't such a thing as a NorCal tour, so that's why there's a SoCal tour. We're going to go down to 3D, which for a lot of folks who may or may not know, part of the Appearance Technology Group is 3D and PNS and high tech and RBL and Pro. Well, we're going to go down and we're going to visit the 3D factory. So we're going to go see where all their stuff is made and take lunch to the crew, if you will. But the other cool thing is that, as part of our group, we've added some, if you will, shared equipment. And one of those is a really fancy, upwards of 2,000 gallons per hour fill machines. And so if anybody knows the challenges that P&S typically faces is not that our products have technical problems, but that we can't get them out to the public. So this was an effort by ATG to supply all of us with a great piece of equipment to make more stuff. And we're going to go see the monster. I don't even know if it has a nickname yet, but Dave will be with us. And so we'll go to the factory. Then we're going to see Allie and her crew on Thursday afternoon. And then we're going to go out and see a bunch of our storefronts all day Friday. So you'll kind of have to follow the tour. Sydney and I'll probably have to be live a lot. And then Friday night, we are with Phil McFetridge and his team. And all these are flyers that I think we've put out or are putting out. And then Saturday, we have a special visit in the morning. I'm not telling you where we're going, but we'll announce that shortly. And then Saturday afternoon, we're at Quality Car Care. And then we all get on planes and go home. And then we go to next week. And next week, I'm in Traverse City, Michigan for detail training and coding class. Sid, where are you next weekend?
I will actually be in Hayward on my monthly trip next week.
Right. So we got that going. And we just had training last week, and we had David Penn from ATG in with us last week for a special class. So that was 3 days there. And then the following week, which is the first weekend of October, it's already here. By the way, our next show officially will be in fall because the 22nd is the start of fall. So we're kind of pre-falling here. Bob and Rennie and I are supposed to be at CBC Distributing in just north of Nashville. But for those who are looking for us on the map, Nashville is the place you go to look. And then the week after that, we are fully into the NorCal tour. So we're a little busy. And
we have our IDA Global SV the day before the NorCal tour,
that
right?
Week we have IDA. Well, that week I'm in Hayward the entire week because we have training, then Global SV, then NorCal tour. Then we get to go home. And then just before SEMA, we make a special trip to shoot some Secret Squirrel videos to, we can say it. We're going to Chicago. We're going to go see the Car Supplies Warehouse guys. So we're hanging out with Mr. Otterness and the crew there. And then we go to SEMA. So not a moment's rest for anybody.
Nope. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'm looking forward to all of it. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun, but it is going to be crazy.
Well, we got to give a little shout out to our friend Alan, who just spent the whole, and Chad, who president of the IDA was there, spent the whole week at Auto Mechanica last week. And looks like they had a hell of a good event. I haven't done a catch-up call with them, but looks like they had a good event and they all got home.
Yep. So great. So great. All over the place.
I love
Super
Hans.
fun. Hans, listen, hello, chemical guys and girl, not the brand, right? Thanks for clarifying.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So we got to talk about what our favorite product was last week, because you did some fun stuff last week.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to remember what I did.
Well,
I'm at that age. I can't even remember last week.
You did the Dodge didn't you do the big Dodge on Friday?
Oh, no, actually, yes, I did. But last Bead Maker and Coffee was the day I was starting that charger.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that charger. So if we go back 2 weeks, that just seems like forever ago. But I was starting that 2006 Dodge Charger, which if you guys have not seen, go look at my Instagram. I did a reel about it. That thing was insane. It was so bad. So let's remember, the guy called and said, I want to have you do it before I take it to my painter, because you need to decide which panels are being painted. So he was expecting it to be several. And it ended up just the bumper, just the front bumper needs to be repainted. And then literally just the aftermarket spoiler, which was plastic anyway, and it wasn't even painted. But it needed to be painted to match the car. So, but otherwise I saved the entire car. Like no other panel needed any paint or body work. It was crazy. But the craziest part is, if you would have brought that into me 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, this needs sanding. It needs a full 2-step, maybe a 3-step correction in some areas. And literally, I did not sand one single part on that car, and I did the entire thing with a maroon pad and rehab.
Nice.
And legit, it turned out so good. So good. So every week I'm like, shout out to rehab. Every week, shout out to rehab. I mean, if there was ever a product that like made me stop hating paint correction, it's rehab. Rehab is amazing. So shout out to rehab. As far as last week, I did do the big Dodge truck. So let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, because
Friday.
you were telling me, it's a daunting vehicle, big vehicle, not well maintained by the customer as far as, long term. And you walked into that, and how'd that go?
And I freaked out because he was an hour and a half late, right? And I was shooting videos at the rag company on Friday afternoon. And so I had like, marks that I had to hit. And so, I always joke about how bad I am with my schedule and like I need a scheduling person because I put myself in pickles all the time. So Friday I had a hard 1:30 start time at the rag company. And so this guy was supposed to drop his truck off at 8 a.m. and it was a Ram 3500. Like,
Won't even
what
fit
was
in
I
your
thinking,
garage,
right?
Ram.
Yeah, I couldn't even shut the garage door. So I was like, what was I thinking that I was going to do a full detail on? Now, granted, it's a truck that I ceramic coated 2 years ago, but still, it's black. It goes hunting and in the dirt and mud, and he has a 3-year-old, and
Oh, wow.
it's ginormous, right? It's ginormous. And so literally I wanted to cry Friday morning and I kept wanting, and so he was an hour and a half late. It was supposed to be here at 8. And like at 9:30, he's like, oh, I'm in Seattle. Well, anyway, I wanted to cancel it. And then it just kept kind of going down the road like, oh, my wife's bringing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to die. But the truck has legend on it, 2 years. So this was its 2-year maintenance. I do remember last year, I do remember it being harder to get back into shape. But this thing came in, it was filthy, absolutely filthy. Had mud up all in the fender wells. And, you know me, I love to ask people to run their car through the car wash first, but he forgot he had an appointment. So clearly it was not
Right.
at all.
That wasn't done.
Yeah. And so I just thought I was going to die. But anyway, my point is, this truck has come to me for 3 years. This is the second year after it's been ceramic coated. It's had, natural finish, all the things on the inside. And let me tell you what, this thing cleaned up like that. I mean, it was so easy. So here's the difference though. This is a fun fact, is the first year, because of in our new products, the way they fell the first year when look, there's the kitty. Hi, Gracie.
This is Gracie.
So it would have had legend and soul on it, right? And remember I said last year when it came in for maintenance, it wasn't that great. It wasn't bad. Yeah. But it wasn't, I don't remember anything going, oh, that was so easy. So last year when it came in, last September, I would have put Defender on it, right? So then this year it comes in all muddy, covered and everything, the whole thing. That thing it cleaned up so fast. Like the inside, everything just wiped off all the plastics and leather. I really just had to go back and retreat everything with Swift after I cleaned everything up. And then the outside, since it had Defender on it, I did the wash clay seal on it and it was perfect. Not a mark from the entire whole last year. And it cleaned up so great. It looked perfect. I had very little wipe down to redo. Of course, I put a new layer of Defender on, but no like nitpicking. The wheels were great because I had put Defender on the wheels last year. Everything was so perfect and everything cleaned up so easy. And so it was just a true testament to sometimes we do things for ourselves, like cover absolutely every part of the vehicle in Defender. Right. So my product of the week is Defender. Because literally when these cars come back in, oh my gosh, it makes my job so much easier. But I do distinctly remember a difference between this maintenance appointment versus last year. And that's literally, you can attribute that to the Defender. The Legend, though, still in excellent shape. I just think there's something about Defender and its ability to defend against life. The coatings do their job, but
that's the thing, right? Is we have said and I know we've done the testing, we've got the lab results and all that stuff, but the reality is driving is different than the testing, and you're a year in. So there's your testament that it can survive a year, and especially when it's on a coating. So great.
So it just made my job so easy on Friday. I hit all my marks on time. I even had time to eat lunch. So it was great. It was great. And then I wasn't hangry during my videos at the Rad Come to Life. It was a good day.
That's always good. We like it when you're not hangry.
I know. All right. So do you have a product of the week?
I do.
Is it a flannel?
We can't keep saying rehab. So in training this last week, we did our office manager, who Carmen is fantastic. We did her car, and we did basically the full detail class in her car, and it was great. Her paint is probably not the best, but we were able to bring it back pretty well. And just the interior system was fantastic on it. But really, the next day we did the Smoke Show Gray, basically the same color as Mike's car. We did the Smoke Show Gray Challenger, and the burgundy pad, the rehab did not touch it.
It didn't?
Did not do it. We went to the Oreo
it must have been bad.
microfiber from the P-Ride system, and that absolutely slayed it. And keep in mind, for those who don't know, if you've ever gotten a car from the San Francisco airport, they still have nylon bristles on their car wash. So it's literally not even a scratch-o-matic. It's a groove-o-matic is what I call it. So
next level.
But actually, the product that really was kind of the win was Inspiration Classic. It is such a good coating. I mean,
such a good one.
Long-term durability. It's scratch resistance for car wash marring. Ease of application. We had David Pedre in, who David's been in the business as long as I have, 25 years at least. And for him to enjoy the products on the coatings was really meant a lot to me, because, you wonder sometimes, are we hitting the mark? How do we compare to other people? So for me, it was Inspiration last week, although I will say Soul was a lot of fun to use as well. But I think Inspiration Classic was there.
Cool.
So, hey, Mark is asking us, are we sharing a booth? Well, yes. It is a 30 by 80 booth, if I'm not mistaken. So there will be, and this is not because we're at war with each other, but on one side you'll have 3D, on the other side you'll have P&S, and then in the middle you'll have the ATG branded products, which will be Pro and RBL and the ATG kind of, and that's not. So we'll each have, and are we 30 by 60 maybe? We each have a
70.
20 by, it's 70. Okay.
I think 30 by 70. So I think we're like 30 by 20, I think is what we are. Or 30 by 30 or 30 by 20. Big booth. And I saw the final concept on Friday during a meeting, and man, the booth looks great. And, the biggest thing, Mark, is that our booth still has the exact same look and feel. I mean, it is P&S all the way. So they did such a great job at maintaining the brand identities within the booth, even though it is one big booth. It looks phenomenal. Our part, we still have the pictures. So we still have the Bead Maker Lounge. So definitely come and see us. It's still, you still got the same look and feel, but it is one large booth. But the cool thing is I saw they also have markers all throughout the hall that say where P&S is, and those look great.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. The booth looks fantastic. So,
and there will be a portal into the other portions. So it won't probably be we're walled off from each other. You'll be able to transition, but it very clearly defined. We're going with a little more red this year, so I think that'll be kind of cool.
Some really big pictures. We haven't had those big background pictures before, so those will be cool. It looks really, really good.
It's been a long time since we've kind of done a change to the booth, so this was a great opportunity to do it with all the other stuff changing and us having the neighboring space. So it'll be cool. I'm just getting through the good morning here. Good morning from Fall, Georgia. I like that. Fall in Georgia is a good time to be there.
Crisanto, good morning.
Hey, Kyle Clark making an appearance.
Kyle Clark. We get to see him this week. I'm so excited.
No, he's kind of giving away our special visit, but okay.
I know. Well, oh, right. Yeah, that was our special visit, right? Yep.
That's our secret visit, but
Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
The devil's in the detail. Good morning. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
You know, Scott is. He's the one that makes the Scott's the one that makes the detail cake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get some use on that in the training center.
Oh yeah. I hear we have one coming.
Yeah, currently painting a few doors at the shop. Dang, improvements keep adding to the project. You know what, Hans? It's never over. Never over. In fact, I need to get Keith to come back and help me finish mine because those darn tiles are still sitting on my porch.
And we need some. Need to get the lights up, and So my shop improvements this week was actually rebuilding the irrigation pump because that also feeds the water to my shop. So it's in 4 pieces in my shop. So maybe before I leave, I'll put that back together. So anybody who knows anything about irrigation pumps, reach out. I could use some help. Hey, Gabriel.
Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Gabriel. Gabriel got to go to Auto Mechanica.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So hey, if you did go, Hans or Gabriel, if you went to Auto Mechanica, any input, man, tell us what you thought of it. I hear it's a pretty cool show. I was really hoping to experience it this year, but we'll get there next time.
Super Auto singing Pre-Fallen. That's funny. The devil in the detail says, can crystal wash be used and rinsed off right before drying, or must it be washed off with shampoo? So here's the deal. You kind of want to do crystal wash before you wash the car. So it's kind of a little bit, I guess, if you will, a pre-treatment. It's going to be most effective before you wash the car. And I think you do want to wash it off. I wouldn't just rinse it off. I think it needs some contact to get it off there. So, and I've heard of people trying to rinse it off and then wash the car. You can just go right straight to your contact wash. You don't need to rinse it off. That's just take an extra time.
Yeah, I think you want to really treat it just the same way you would with any iron removal product. So, if you're going to put those on first, then that's where you should put both crystal wash or iron buster, in our opinion, is pre-treat the car and then go straight to your wash process. So, and good morning to Michael Hill. Michael, was great seeing you.
Good morning, Michael.
When we were in Utah for and actually we did that too since
we did talk about that. Yeah, we went to the iShine event, which was so great.
Good. Yeah, we had Jason Rose, we had Tyler Cucci, we had Michael Hill, we had Rod and Jody, we had John from Malco, we had who was there from Detail Factory? I'm so bad with names. Sid, help me out, rescue me.
I don't remember. I remember seeing Tom McDonald from Lake Country stop by.
Yeah, Tom stopped by, So they brought out all the cars.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind, but it was such a great event. Holy cow!
Yeah,
such a good job.
Yep,
such a good job. We got to see a lot of our Utah detailer friends. Let's see. Devil in Detail says, I've been using it in a way that saves a lot of product rather than just spraying it on, but with the method, it's after washing the grid off, just like an iron remover. So my only question here would be, are you spraying it on a wet vehicle? Because if you are, it's probably not working. So crystal wash has to be on a dry vehicle. So anyway, let us know what more your method is, but definitely crystal wash needs to be on a dry vehicle.
Yes.
But you could wash the car and then dry it, wait for it to be totally dry, crystal wash, but then you do need to shampoo it off again. Yeah.
All right, Hans, yes, you need to just order the 12-pack. Just get a case.
Yeah.
You're gonna use it.
Yep. Love me some
And by the way, Patrick does have rehab now, so he can feed your fix there in Europe if you're looking for it.
Nice. Crisanto says, what is your go-to products to have on your Chemtrol fill station? I'm going to say my number one, and then you can go, Keith. Absolute.
I was going to start there too. So
best thing ever. Best thing ever.
Well, let's go through what you've got on yours. So you've got Absolute.
Yeah.
You've got Pearl, right?
So on my soaps, so on the, what do you call it? The max fill side? What do you call it?
Yeah. So
the bucket side.
Yep.
So I have Absolute. I have Knockoff, because I put Knockoff in my wheel bucket So just for some extra kick. I have, what else is over there? Break Buster to fill my IKs.
Yep.
And then I have Pearl also. So just a regular soap.
Now, what IK are you using? You're a Foam Pro 2, or are you using the
12?
Okay.
The big one. Yeah.
You're using the 2.5 gallon pump up one with the Schrader valve installed so you can air compressor it.
Yes. Yes. So that was a team effort. I had to have Jamie show me how to change my filters and my tip. I had to have Jamie and Alex tell me even what a Schrader valve was. And then I had to have Tony hook me up with the quick connect. So it was a whole like 6-month team effort to get me to use the IK12, but I love it. Love it. So yeah, so good to go there. And then on the bottle fill side, I have Carpet Bomber, TrueView, EnviroClean, and Tempest.
Tempest, yep.
Tempest is the one product that never gets any love, and man, I love that product. It's so good.
So what's your go-to use for that? I mean, I typically hear everybody say, oh, I use it on WeatherTechs, but what's your use for that?
WeatherTechs and engines, but WeatherTechs, because you know what? I don't have to scrub them. And it does not degrade the surface of the WeatherTech at all. So it doesn't leave them dry and does not hurt them at all. But I just spray them down with Tempest, let them sit for a minute, and then pressure wash them. And I'm talking dirty ones. I never even have to scrub them. Yeah. So it just saves me that whole step. So I love Tempest. And then on engines, it's great. But I do use it on fender wells a lot too, and especially side steps like yours on your truck, where it's the chrome and then they have the plastic, and it's like, what is going on there? All that grime that builds up around each little black piece. Oh yeah. So I use a lot of Tempest. I love Tempest. So
I would actually say Tempest is really good for cleaning a spray-in bed line or pickup truck as well. Mm-hmm. Same thing. You got a lot of texture there. It's hard to get in and scrub it, and it doesn't degrade the surface. So in your Chemtrol, you're actually using Tempest, which is part of the Chemtrol. EnviroClean part of the Chemtrol. Mm-hmm. TrueView part of Chemtrol. So the only ones that you're missing are the body wash, and you're using Pearl and Absolute there. So,
but I use knockoff. That's a Chemtrol. Yeah. So I have all the Chemtrol except for body wash, which I may switch to body wash actually, because my Pearl is almost gone, and it would save me space because I had a 5 gallon. So I probably will switch to body wash, just because now that we have frostbite.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to go because I do frostbite in the foamer. So I'll probably do body wash. I'll switch to body wash. And then Pearl, I have like in its regular quart up right next to my sink, which is 2 feet away from my Chemtrol. I use a lot of Pearl because I use it as my hand wash also. Right. So just to get all the soaps in there, I'll probably switch that line to body wash, and then I will have the whole Chemtrol line. But love them all. But seriously, like having Absolute on tap.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Well, you're just a little bit of a volume user on that product, so.
Yeah. Love it. I know I should probably get a 5, but there is no 5s.
We'll work on it. That's next.
Mark Bar. I've been through 4 bottles. I think he's talking about rehab.
I think he is too. Yeah. So great product and Mark's a guy who loves to do his paint correction. So, not shipping yet.
Desperado says,
when Bob gets back from his current trip, I think we'll start to see some movement in that space. But
so I'm going to go back to that. So, because this is a good part of the story, right? So, when you do make your own chemicals, right? Sometimes you are out of a certain raw material, and so we have everything ready to go. We're waiting on one single material, but the labels are in, the bottles are in. It's just waiting for one little thing to be mixed up, and then it'll be ready to go. So it's on its way. So we're probably, I'm gonna guess, because Bob's on his trip, so we have to announce it first. So we're probably 2.5, 3 weeks away from that.
Yeah. So I don't even want to say what the raw material was, but let's just say that it's part of the pleasurable experience of the product. So we have to have it in there.
We could skip it, but I promise you don't want us to.
Yeah, no, I've lived through that once with another product, never doing it again. And it wasn't with this company, but I went through that once, not doing it again. So rehab will be on the way. Yeah, there's another product that we never really give any real love to. We use the Sidekick and not just for interiors. You can use it as a bug scrubber. You can use it for so many different things. But yeah, great product. And as we had a couple of guys who were on the larger side in our last training, you can actually get your hand in the little sleeve on the back and use the product. So kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah. Love the Sidekick. Yeah. That was a fun project. Yes. Jeff says, I'm spending a lot of time with rehab lately. Me too. I love it.
We're going to rehab.
You know what I had to do this weekend? Oh, I got to tell this story because I totally forgot about it this weekend. So Saturday morning, I had a neighbor call and say, my dog just jumped all over my neighbor's car. It's a black Toyota RAV4, golden retriever, jumped all over the side of it. It came in. I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. And so just washed that one panel with with Absolute, and then used rehab on the maroon, took it right out. Went back over with the orange just to make sure, because then I had to do the whole door because, of course, it was car wash scratch to no end. So then went back over the whole door with the orange, and turned out perfect. I looked like a magician, and it was so easy and quick and not a big deal, and it was awesome. So yes, always rehab for the win. I forget it makes me win every day.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So, Mr. Josh, come out
Josh Pierce.
We'll have some fun. We'll have some laughs. Whatever that line is from.
We miss you every day, Josh.
Join us in LA, man. Maybe we can have a Tacoma Towers event.
Soon enough, we're going to see you. You probably get to see him more than I do, or before I do, right?
I might see him. Yeah, I might co-opt him for another event here. So,
the details of me says, "Hey, Franco, Bradley Bradshaw. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Bradley. Here we go. Waiting November PNS paint correction training in Hayward. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that. By the way, I should announce on the upcoming events calendar, we will have a 2-day RUPES event at the mothership on the 3rd and 4th of December. And none other than Mr. Todd Helm will be there. So, and I think that's right around our annual shop.
When is that again?
Weekend. That's the 3rd and 4th.
Okay, yeah. Yep, I think our shop crawl's like the 7th. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Which we'll be announcing this, but since I said that, I think our shop crawl's in Denver this year.
Well, at least one of them is. We may be doing
there might be several. Yeah.
Maybe doing a shop crawl tour this year. So yes, I think Denver is the plan. And I think RUPES may be involved in that one as well. So stay tuned for details.
Yeah.
But yes, we're going to do some paint correction in November. It's going to be awesome. By the way, our guest trainer in November is none other than Mr. Josh Pierce. So trying to kind of mix it up a little bit in the training center this year, get some different faces in and different experiences. And, Josh has a body shop and he's, runs a great detail shop. So always fun to get different people in who do different stuff and get new experiences for our customer base.
I'm laughing at the comment section.
Uh-oh. You can't read ahead, Sid. That ruins.
I do, though. Okay, Mark says, can't wait for you guys to see my car in the McGuire's booth with the rehab correction, but don't tell anybody. It's just our secret. We won't tell anybody.
No, too late. Okay. Yeah, but we'll
Except
come
for
by.
all of us here.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. Hey, is that which hall is that in so that we know where to go look? Is that in, because sometimes McGuire's has multiple booths.
Yeah,
so tell us which
McGuire's has been in the Central Hall a bunch of times. And even when we were all over in the North Hall, they were never over there with us. So.
Yep. Very cool. Anthony Brown
hey,
Jr.
BJ, what's up, brother?
Hey, guys.
Here we go.
I could not go this time, but I will go next time, though. Very good.
Okay. So I'll see you in 2 years, Hans.
Yep. Keith will be there. I won't because I'm still going to be footballing at that time.
Right.
That will be Tristan's senior year.
Yeah, no, you can't give up on those. So Ramiro, it was great to see him
Good
this week.
morning.
I'm excited. We are talking about a Spanish language class for the Training Center for TY25. So Training Year 25 will include that. And I'm asking Ramiro if he will be the instructor there. And I think he's going to do it. So I don't know when that's going to be, but that is on tap as well. We are not going to get stale in the Training Center this year.
Mm-hmm. Chris M says hello. Clint.
Clinto.
Hi, Clint.
Can we say the big news? I think
you better let him ask.
I think it's publicly known.
Really?
Yeah.
I would double check. I haven't heard it publicly.
Yeah, I think it went public.
Clint, if you're still here, oh, did it? Okay, if you know it went public, go for it.
Well, no, Clint, hit us back. Tell us where you're at, buddy.
Yeah, if you're still here, tell us what you're doing.
We know, but we want to make sure it's all legit. So,
right.
But congratulations to Clint. He's got a great new opportunity.
Oh, he said you can. See, I'm reading ahead. He said you can.
All right. So he went to and is working with Duraslick now, which is great. Yeah. So congratulations to Dr. Clinto.
So I can't wait to see your face, Clint. We've missed you.
Yeah, we have. We've
so exciting.
Totally missed you. Good morning, Alex. How's Alex in these days?
Man, he's in the water all the time. I saw him on another boat hanging off the side this weekend.
You really got to get him like a Superman harness or something. So.
Yeah. Thomas Zaleski says, it's a good PNS product for the Subaru Wilderness seats. It has Star Tech material. So those are very similar to the ones in Tristan. So you have to kind of be careful. I would say take a soft boar's hair brush, and honestly, then just Express is great. That's all we use on his. You could use a little carpet bomber if you've got some stains. I think the biggest thing with those though is just being careful to not, don't use a rotary brush on them. Don't use anything like that. Just use, just like I have a couple different ones, but just like a boar's hair, interior brush, Also though, the sidekick could work if they're not super bad, but yeah. The thing is just don't dig at them, and don't use a rotary brush for sure.
Yeah, like with headliner material, I actually use either a rolled up microfiber towel, or I've actually used a sidekick with Express, and it's kind of odd there. Normally you'd think, we'll put carpet bomber on it or Terminator, but actually Express seems to do better with that thinner material.
Yeah, I like the Express. But you know what else would be a good product to use that you can run at a low speed is the UFO pad from Autofiber. Yeah. That thing has been a game changer with our interior system. So you could use that too, just at a low speed. It's just, the thing is you don't want, it's a little bit more of a sensitive. Yeah.
So
Alex, engines for sure on the Tempest. I think he's probably.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he was going.
Yeah.
Tempest equals Mudbuster. So a little different products. Tempest has more of a degreasing element to it. Mudbuster is more of a grind buster. And the other thing is that Mudbuster has a rust inhibitor in it, which Tempest does not.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I love them both though. I totally use them both.
Not going to get an argument from me on either one that you want.
I go through a lot of Mudbuster as well. Gabriel, why does nobody ever talks about matte finish protectant? It's so good, maybe even better than Bead Maker. Well, here's my deal. It is a fantastic product. What freaks me out about it, and this is a completely Sydney issue, not a product issue, is that you have to apply it with a sponge. That freaks me out.
Well, and so
it's a great product.
Let's talk about application with a sponge, because the old school way to apply crystal wash was the same thing. You would mix it into a bucket with some water and sponge it on. And then, matte finish care is similar to that in that you mix it in the bucket, almost like a wash solution, but not quite, and you sponge it on.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. So it's it's a wet process. That once we've kind of got the car clean, we don't normally like to go backwards too. So
and my thing too is that I've only used it a couple times because it really is meant for matte paint. It of course could be used on clear coat as well, but with some of the other products we have, it's a little bit easier. and I'm a big fan of the wash clay seal process. But on matte paint, I have had true matte paint come in that was not coated that I needed this product for, and it worked great. The process just felt a little interesting to me, and especially where I normally only do rinseless wash. It didn't fit into my process very great, but it worked phenomenally. And it is a very good long-lasting protectant. But then all the rest of the vehicles that come through my shop that have matte paint are coated. And so you don't need it on a coated car. So it's just something that for me personally, I don't have a lot of matte paint. I do know that it may become more of a thing because I've seen a lot of manufacturers, specifically, what is that new Hyundai Santa Fe has a couple matte paint finishes. So
I think
it's definitely one that
does too. They come in a kind of frosted look.
Yeah, so it may be a product that people want to keep around a bottle because when you need it, you need it. That's not to say that you can't use like Defender on matte paint as well, but the matte finish protectant on a bare matte finish paint is really good.
Yeah.
Now on a wrap, if it's a matte wrap, I'm still going to go with Defender or Triple S or something like that, because that's not the way the protectant is bonding with the matte wrap is not like matte paint. So, but on matte paint, factory matte paint, it's a great product, but just know that you do need like a whole, what do you think is the sponge? Like I tried to apply it with a rinseless sponge. That's not the way to go. So what do you think? Like a chenille?
Yeah, I would go with
dog bone type sponge.
Yeah, kind of the spaghetti noodle chenille would be probably the way to go.
Yeah.
Because there just isn't the old-fashioned kind of sponge out there. Well, yeah. I think Turtle Wax still has one.
UBS, and that was not the way to go, and it ruined the sponge. So I would don't use the rinseless sponges for sure.
Yeah, and you don't want to use maybe a microfiber mitt may be the best way to go because if you get a spun gold one, it may grab a little bit on the mat. So probably either a chenille or a micro, but probably a microfiber product there. So I'm not sure what this is in.
She's talking about crystal wash. So no, definitely not wet. Quick but safe wash and dry. Apply crystal wash with a round microfiber applicator and let dry through a rinse. I can apply crystal wash with 3 ounces that way.
And that makes total sense. Totally get where they're going. That's more toward the traditional style of how you would have applied crystal wash. Just make sure you're wearing gloves.
Here's my only thing here though, because you know me, I'm like the diva, right? I like to be efficient. So my only thing here, that totally works. But the only thing here is I would say I only use 3 to 4 ounces of crystal wash when I spray it. But here's the deal is you have to figure in your time of going back and doing it that way. Is it worth saving the 1 ounce of crystal wash because crystal wash is very inexpensive. So I would pay attention to if you're doing it quick and easy and this works for you, by all means, great. But you are drying the car twice.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. But if it works for you, the other thing with the applicators, just make sure you're getting enough on the surface to actually crystallize. Because the microfiber applicator, I'd wonder, is it releasing enough on the surface to actually do the crystallization process? So if it's working, great. But I would just make sure that you've got enough on the surface to actually be doing the job of the crystal wash.
And keep in mind, everybody, the wash process that Sydney's helped us develop here at P&S, really, we start with the Decon first because part of our wash process with the wash clay seal is we're going to a clay exfoliation kind of after we've done the crystal wash. And then we're drying and we're done. And so if you're doing your clay process before you've done your decon, chemical decon, I'm not saying they're out of order, but you're just doing them in the reverse order that we've kind of put together that we found to be really effective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's the other thing, right? In our wash process, we're done when we're done with the wet process. So coming back again with crystal wash just means that now you've got to apply your protectant after that, where we apply the protectant in the wash process, really, because we're doing it with the clay and the seal part. So it's just steps. The other thing is I like the time that we have to put the product on the car, crystal wash, so we can spritz the wheels, spray the entire body down, and then we can go do our wheel and tire cleaning, let that product set up. And then when we're ready, we can come back and start our wash process, and Crystal Wash is set up and we're ready to go on to our next step.
Yeah. Yep.
So
for whatever works for you.
Yeah. It's all about our time saving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yep.
All right. But do you recommend shampooing it off or just a rinse? I still think a shampoo, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, because it is an acid. I mean, you do still want to actually deactivate it. I mean, not that it's really going to hurt anything, but in my mind, it is a mild acid. You still need to deactivate it. So yes, still use a shampoo for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. She's coming in hard from the East Coast.
Did someone say Rupes? We've said it a few times. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Mark your calendar. Call Jason and Todd and tell them you're coming.
Tell them you need to come.
Good luck with that one.
Hang out with us. Mike Carlin, thanks for joining us. Hello, PNS team. Own it. See you all.
Mike.
Yes, cannot wait.
There's a guy who's been a little busy between all of his triathlon stuff and the new business. And congratulations, Mike. A great year for you guys. And looking forward to seeing you at SEMA and celebrating with you.
Yes, for sure. Mark Abar. I'm not completely sure yet. So he's not sure where his car's going to be. Well, let us know when you find out what hall they're in. Because, I think McGuire's has like 2 or 3 booths. So let us know for sure.
Clint said we could tell, so we did. I love whippering. Go Super Auto.
Need hints, Clint. That's a good one. Oh, he says he misses us too. Alex, whatever it takes. Yep.
There you go.
The Superman harness. He's going to need one. Thomas says thank you.
Uh-oh, here we go. Joe Kimball.
Joe Kimball. Yes, they are. So versatile in many areas. Yeah.
So, Sid, you use it on carpet and fabric. Where else do you use it? Anywhere else?
Headliners. Yeah, headliners. Yeah.
Okay.
The 3-inch, you know how like the visors always get that grimy fingers all over them? You just spray some carpet primer, put it on speed 1, go across it. Oh, it's great. Takes it all off. And then you don't, because headliners are always so scary for me to do. And you don't want to spray. You don't, if you put it on a towel, it doesn't seem, I don't know. And you don't want to steam because you don't want to break down the glue. And so that has just been like the safest, like initial, let's see if this works. And it's great. So I take my little Rupes 3-inch, put it on there. Yeah, it's so great.
And somebody say Rupes?
Yep.
Good morning, Rod.
Good morning, Rod.
On the show.
First from Puerto Rico. Good morning, PNS team. Good morning.
First from Puerto Rico was not really first this morning. It get kind of late in the show.
A little late. But he probably is the first from Puerto Rico. Umberto.
Okay. First from Puerto Rico is making up for lost time. Here we go. Speed round.
All right. I'm saying good morning to everybody.
Getting them all in.
Too funny.
All right. There we go. Rags to Riches question.
All right. David says, I just used Rags to Riches for the first time. Wow. Isn't it so great? I love Rags to Riches. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk real quick. Rags to Riches. We don't talk about this enough. Well, how many ounces do you use in your wash? And then when you do your stripper bucket, how much do you put in there?
So I probably use an ounce or 2, depending on, lately I've been washing towels when there's like a full load. So I'm usually using 2 ounces now. And then I still do a cup of vinegar just because I like to. But the difference between like Rags to Riches and like an all free and clear is there's, obviously when Dave made it, he made it with the specific request to be able to strip sealants and waxes out of the towels. I don't think that most of us didn't care until maybe like 2018 when we realized that sealants that were coming out like Bead Maker would clog our towels and make them hydrophobic,
right.
Meaning you couldn't get them wet and they wouldn't dry a car. And so it came out of a need from all of the sealants on the market that it had to not only clean the dirt and debris from the towel, but actually needed to strip out the waxes and sealants. And so Rags to Riches was developed, what was that, maybe 2020, 21, I think. No, it was 2020. It was in our 12 products of the year.
Yeah.
And so it's just been so great. So it keeps, and then that's the other thing is microfiber became more of a thing. They became much more expensive because they're very fancy and nice and lovely to use. And so all of a sudden we didn't want disposable towels. We wanted to be able to reuse our towels. And so it was a perfect combination for the great towels that, everyone's putting out, the rag company, Auto Fiber. We wanted to take care of them. And so it's just a really great, true microfiber wash. It does a great job at cleaning. It does a great job of stripping. And so I use it every time I wash my microfibers. But then the great thing about Rags to Riches specifically is it can, like I said, it can strip those sealants out. So once they become more clogged where normal everyday washing isn't getting them out, you can soak them in a bucket of I use really hot water, and hot water does not ruin the towels. It's the dryer being hot that ruins the towels. Right. So you use really hot water. And I usually put about a half of a cup to a cup in the bucket with the towels, and I soak them for 24 hours. And when you pull them out, like the water is brown. And I do this on clean towels. I don't soak the dirty ones. So this is after they've been washed and they need to be stripped. I soak them because otherwise you're kind of fighting with that dirt, right? So I soak them, the water turns brown, and then the towels are like renewed. So I do that probably every 3 months or so. Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty great. Pretty great. Good morning, crew.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. Luis says, good morning. Did you see Jamie and Eddie's new project, The House of Rags? We did. Yeah.
We did. It was hard to miss.
Yeah. So that, they released that kind of teaser that they did the day that we got to the iShine event. So we did all see it, but we had heard from them as well. So they gave us a heads up. It sounds like a great project. We'll see where it goes. We fully support them and back them. And it sounds exciting. They're kind of working with some smaller brands and, kind of hitting some niches. And I think it'll be great. So yeah, we totally support them. Yeah. The devil in the details say time is not an issue. It's my personal vehicle. I park near a railroad track. So this treatment's every couple months and a quick decon minus clay. Perfect.
Totally understand that.
Yep. I work up the railroad park and next to the tracks every other day. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to tell you now, though, is that Crystal Wash hits all environmental contamination, does not attack iron. Iron Buster only attacks iron. So you may want to switch it up every now and then with Iron Buster in place of what you were just doing, because only the Iron Buster is going to remove that rail dust, which is iron. Yeah. So because you're attacking railroad, now you're probably still getting dirt and all kinds of other stuff, but I would maybe go every other. So I would do Crystal Wash one time, the next time do Iron Remover. You really only need to use Iron Remover on your car once, maybe twice a year, but I would throw in some Iron Buster because the Crystal Wash is not attacking the iron particles. Yep. So switch it up a little bit every now and then. Yeah, just cover all the bases.
Yeah. A full throttle question. Well, I got to say, Rehab has really pushed full throttle out of the way a little bit, but it's still a great product. Do you use it at all much anymore, Sid?
No, because really, a couple years ago when this whole process started with Rehab, I had kind of switched away from Ego Maker and Deep Finish. I had found full throttle in the basement. I loved full throttle. It worked really great. I know Josh Pierce was a big full throttle user. And I would call Dave and say, I like full throttle, but I just wish it did this. And I wish it did that. And I wish it worked on all paint. There was some paint that it worked really great on, others it really didn't do a whole lot. And so really the idea of full throttle, because it's a fantastic polish, full throttle in its own right sparked Rehab. It sparked let's really get down to business on this and figure this out. And so really Rehab, not that Dave took full throttle and made Rehab, it was more the desire for a product like full throttle that did so much and was so easy to clean and user friendly. The idea of that sparked the need for Rehab. So, for me being like the totally transparent person I am, I have not found where I need anything besides Rehab.
Well, and let's be honest. I mean, full throttle is part of the extra cut system, which was designed for us to go up against the 3D product line in the body shop with the rotary tools. So we always abrogated that product off of the rotary side into the DA side, and it does a really good job. But rehab was kind of, if you will, the bespoke build to kind of go to the modern retailer and be a DA product. So Absolute on Florida. I have not tried it. Have you?
Yeah, all the time. So I have used it just in a spray. Like I've used my IK when I've had to do like a quick mop, quick cleanup before people are coming over. I'll use my IK sprayer and just, like microfiber mop it up. But I also use it in my steamer 100% of the time. So most of the time when I'm full on cleaning my wood floors, I'm using a steamer, and I absolutely run it in my steamer. It's amazing. And thank you for spelling my name correctly.
Hey, well, now we need to do that because Lisa, we have new wood floors too, like you do, and I know she uses the steam mop on them, so I will have to get her some.
No, it's great, and
I'll have to go pull it out of the garage.
Yeah, and the thing I think I like the most about it, because the steamers on wood floor can always be like, you don't want to go over the same area too many times with the steamer. So what I've noticed is when you put Absolute in there, you're not having to go over the same area multiple times because you have that like kick and cleaning power, but you're not using a chemical. And so for me, it just keeps the floors drier. I'm not going over the same areas multiple times. So yeah, I like it. I do on mine, which are stone integral tiles. Yes. And same with me. I have every surface. I have tile. I have what's that? Engineered planks, whatever.
Yeah,
and then I also have
hardwood.
Wood.
Yep.
So I use all of it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you rewash your towels after the 24-hour soak with rags to riches? Essentially wash, soak, wash. Yes. Yep. I do wash, soak, wash. Because at that point, they still have all that dirt that it's pulled out, and you want to rinse them out really well. So when I do rewash them, I just wash them with nothing though. So I put them on the regular cycle in the washer, but I don't add any more rags to riches. But you absolutely want to rewash them because you need to get that rinse. You need to rinse all that stuff out. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess our full throttle explanation explained it. And by the way, Mark, love Dark Supreme. Again, another great product for that we built for the body shop industry when all the black cars and you were having a hard time getting a swirl out because you were creating swirls. But now we got the Rupes tools, so we don't have to deal with that. So it's all good. There you go, Rupes. Shameless plug again.
Yep.
Franco, have you considered using a car cover when you're parked where you go to work on railroad? Car cover site has a sale too. So my thing with car covers has always been not having a custom fitted one really leads you into a position where it's baggy, and if it's windy, it beats against the car and it does as much damage, in my opinion, as a poorly fitting car cover does as much damage as not covering the car at all. So if you get a custom fitted one and it's right and you've got the straps to hold it in place, okay, maybe.
And the car is clean underneath, right? Because it's still going to move a little bit. And then my thing too is always you have to basically have 4 people to put it on. You got to like balloon it over, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're I'm not a big fan of car covers unless you have 4 people to put it on and it's tightly fitting and the car's perfectly clean underneath the car cover. All of those situations are usually hard to meet.
So if you want to see a mass cringe, just get the entire detail team at the lawn at Monterey and watch us as people are putting car covers on their cars. We're like,
oh gosh, yeah.
You're looking at a one-off car and you're like, don't put a car cover on it.
Yeah.
And then to make it even worse, they use the plastic ones, which just Ask Robin how that worked out for the one customer this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Rupes.
There you go. I have a
All right. Super Auto says has a Shark steam floor cleaner with a rotating. Wow.
Wow. Nice. Fancy dancy. I don't have one of those.
That's nice.
All right.
No, I only park every other day for 24 to 36 hours, and the car always got a storm code. Perfect. You were good.
Perfect. Yep. You have taken care of it well. Well, we've already talked about where we're going next.
Yep.
Should we say we have a new product release coming for SEMA this year, correct?
Well, actually, we have a couple. So there will be so obviously we know Rehab in the 8-ounce bottles is going to be here anytime. We
And the
do have a
gallon.
huge product release that's actually going to make its way before SEMA.
Yes.
Huge. So exciting. So stay tuned for that. That will hopefully be early to mid-October. And then we have 4 new products for SEMA, 4, that will release on that Monday the 3rd. So super excited about that. There's one that I'm just so stinking excited about. So you're going to have to come see us at SEMA. So stinking excited. So yes, we have lots of new products coming up, there's a couple doozies in there, not going to lie.
Which is cool. I mean, I won't say we've been quiet, but we've been on a very comfortable pace. We have not done a 12 and 12, and I don't think we ever will again. That was a great year, but that was a lot. But it's nice to have some new stuff.
Well, and let's be real, Frostbite and Rehab have really taken over the year, right? I think we knew Rehab was going to be a big deal, but I don't think we knew that Frostbite was going to hit in the manner that it has. And so just keeping those 2 products going all year, we got a little bit behind with new products, but now we've got lots coming in the next month, which is so exciting. It's not gray bead maker, Hans. It's not.
No.
It's not.
No. It's plaid bead maker. Plaid.
Yeah. But yeah, so lots of great, exciting stuff coming up. So make sure, if you don't already, follow our Instagram and our Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. There's going to be lots of exciting stuff coming up. So, and then, yes, we always, post from our events and stuff. We'll make sure to do that. Make sure that if you use our products, make sure to share in stories. We love sharing everybody's stories. And I have got to get to work today. I've got a very busy day. I have 2 details today. I have a hair appointment, which is why I didn't do my hair today, by the way. I have a hair appointment. And then I also have homecoming, like, where the boy asks the girl with the whole poster and stuff. And it's going to be so cute. So 2 bulldogs are involved. So I have that tonight too, which I got to pull together. So I've got a very busy day.
Wow. Homecoming.
Look at my hair. As the day has gone on, it's like more apparent that I need to get to the hair salon.
I'm due for a hair appointment as well, so I'll get tuned up before we go on our trip.
Yeah. So big homecoming proposal tonight. Is that what you call them? Homecoming? I don't know.
Well, it's asking, whatever. Let's not go proposal.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Will you go to homecoming with me? It's not me. It's the boy.
So has he got a special thing, or is he just going to ask?
Oh, no, I made the whole thing. I'm going to tell you guys what it is, because it's not like it's giving it away here on Bead Maker and Coffee. So we have our bulldog, Piper, right? And she's so cute, little brown and white bulldog. She's 9. And then Tristan's he just recently has a girlfriend. He's a sophomore in high school. So they just recently made it official that they're dating. And her name is Sophia. And Sophia's mom, 6 years ago, asked me, where'd you get your bulldog? So I told her. And so they got a bulldog from the same breeder that we got our dog from. Or we didn't get them from the breeder, but it's the same breeder. So it's from the same place. And so they have Bruce, who sits. So now our kids are dating and they have the same bulldog. It's brown and white bulldog, right? And so these 2 have not talked since 4th grade. Now they're in 10th grade. Because, they liked each other in 4th grade and it was weird. And so then they went to different middle schools, different junior highs, and now they are back at high school together. And so now they've reconnected and like, oh, we still like each other. So now they're actually dating as miniature adults. And so his sign says, so we're going to put both bulldogs next to each other. And Tristan's sign that he's going to hold says, I double bulldog dare you to go to ... And then Piper's sign says Hoko. And then Bruce's sign says with me. And so it's double bulldog dare you. And it's funny because we both have bulldogs, but then it's kind of, it's a very 4th grade, like I double dog dare you, and 4th grade was like a pivotal moment in their relationship where they stopped being friends. So it's going to be so stinking adorable.
Follow it on Facebook because it'll be there.
Yeah. Go for the pictures. It's going to be adorable. So that happens tonight. Yeah.
And by the way, there is nothing miniature about your son. They may not be, they're young adults, but he is certainly, in the 6 foot plus range. So, can I make a dilution of the same bottle of Brake Buster and Iron Remover? I don't recommend putting the two in the same bottle. Just layer them as your best.
Yeah, they'll end up eating each other over time. Like you could do it if you were using it immediately, but it will eat each other over time. Does PNS have and then I got to go. One last question. Does PNS have a dedicated tar adhesive sticky stuff remover for paint? Tar remover is remove all, which is great. And then sticky stuff would be Solvent X?
Solvent X, yep.
Yeah.
And in a very tight pinch where you're just back against the wall, you could try the tree sap remover for either of those. Mm-hmm. Not as effective, but it does work.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
And on that, because it is not tree sap season now, on that note, we're done. We got to the end. We made it. We survived. Yeah. Woo! Yep. I will see you in 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch the feed because we got some cool stuff going on.
Yep. All right.